Picture this. You finally buy that expensive foldable phone, but every time you open it, there's that annoying crease staring right back at you. It's like buying a luxury car with a scratch down the middle of the windshield. Well, Samsung might have finally cracked the code with their upcoming Z Fold 8 series. But here's the twist. It's not the premium Ultra model that's getting the best treatment. According to fresh reports from South Korea, Samsung is planning something completely different with their foldable lineup. And it could change everything we know about foldable phones. Today we're diving deep into Samsung's bold strategy for the Galaxy Z Fold 8 series. We'll explore why the company is making the cheaper model better than the expensive one. Plus, we'll see how Samsung plans to take on Apple's rumored iPhone Ultra and compete with Chinese brands that are already winning the crease game. Let's start with the biggest news that has everyone talking. Samsung is reportedly working on two different Z Fold 8 models for next year. There's the regular Z Fold 8 Ultra, which follows the classic tall and narrow design we've seen for years. Then there's this new model that's being called the Z Fold 8 Wide or Galaxy Z Wide Fold. This wider version is designed specifically to compete with Apple's upcoming iPhone Ultra. But here's where things get interesting. The cheaper, wider model is getting better screen technology than the premium Ultra version. According to a report from ZDNet Korea, Samsung is using 30% thicker ultra-thin glass in the wide model. We're talking about 60 micrometer thick glass compared to just 45 micrometers in the Ultra model. To put this in perspective, let's look at how Samsung has been improving its glass over the years. The Z Fold 6 from 2024 used 30 micrometer glass. The special edition that was only available in Korea and China bumped it up to 45 micrometers. The Galaxy Z Fold 7 also uses that same 45 micrometer thickness. Now Samsung is jumping all the way to 60 micrometers for the wide model. That's double the thickness of what they were using just one generation ago. But why does this matter so much? Thicker glass means fewer creases, and creases are the #1 complaint about foldable phones. Every time you fold and unfold your phone, that crease becomes more visible. It's especially noticeable when you're watching videos or looking at photos. The thicker glass also makes the phone more durable if you drop it. But there's a trade-off here that Samsung has to be careful about. Thicker glass is harder to fold, which puts more stress on the hinge mechanism. If the glass is too thick, it might crack when you fold the phone. Samsung has been testing different thickness levels for years to find the sweet spot. It looks like they think 60 micrometers might be that perfect balance. Now let's talk about why Samsung is making this move. The company is clearly worried about competition from Chinese brands like Honor and Oppo. The Honor Magic V6 and Oppo Find N6 have both managed to make their creases much less noticeable. Oppo especially has been clever about this. They added an anti-glare layer on top of their foldable screen. You can still see the crease if you look for it, but it's way less obvious in daily use. This is something that really matters because plastic screens are naturally very reflective. That reflection makes creases stand out even more. Samsung has been the king of foldables for years, but these Chinese companies are catching up fast. Some would argue they've already surpassed Samsung in certain areas. Samsung knows they need to step up their game, especially with Apple potentially entering the foldable market. The iPhone Ultra that everyone's talking about could be a game changer. Apple has a history of entering markets late but doing it really well. Think about how they approached smartwatches, tablets, and even smartphones. Samsung wants to make sure they have a strong answer ready when Apple makes their move. That's why they're creating this wider Z Fold 8 model specifically as an iPhone Ultra competitor. Let's dive into what else Samsung is improving with the Z Fold 8 series. The displays are getting a major upgrade beyond just the thicker glass. Samsung is reworking both the inner and outer AMOLED panels. The goal is to make the crease less visible and create a more uniform look across both screens. This means smoother visuals when you switch between phone mode and tablet mode. Your eyes won't get distracted by the fold line every time you open the device. Samsung is also working on better color matching between the two screens. Right now, many foldables have slight differences in color temperature or brightness between the inner and outer displays. It's subtle, but once you notice it, you can't unsee it. Performance is another area where Samsung is making big improvements. Running a foldable phone is much harder than running a regular phone. You're pushing way more pixels, especially when both screens are active. People expect to run multiple apps at the same time, just like they would on a laptop. They want to play graphics-heavy games, edit photos, and do serious productivity work. All of this requires serious processing power. Samsung is expected to use their latest and greatest processor in the Galaxy Z Fold 8 series. This isn't optional at the price point these phones will sell for. If the phone stutters while you're running two apps side by side, the whole premium experience falls apart. Samsung is also improving their multitasking software to take better advantage of all that screen real estate. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room: battery life. This has been the dirty secret of foldable phones since day one. Running two displays absolutely destroys your battery. It's like the difference between lighting one room in your house versus lighting two rooms. The power draw is significantly higher, and most foldable phones struggle to last a full day with heavy use. Reports suggest the Z Fold 8 will come with a 5000 mAh battery. That's a meaningful increase from previous generations. To put it in perspective, that's the kind of battery size you'd expect in a serious flagship phone with a big screen. But Samsung knows that just cramming in a bigger battery isn't enough. They're also working on smarter power management. The phone will be better at deciding when to use the outer screen versus the inner screen. It will also be more efficient at managing apps that are running in the background. The new processor will help with efficiency too. Modern chips are much better at handling demanding tasks without draining the battery as quickly. Samsung is also improving their fast charging technology. Even with a bigger battery, you should be able to charge the phone quickly when needed. Let's step back and look at Samsung's overall strategy here. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 series isn't about reinventing the foldable phone. Instead, Samsung is focusing on fixing all the little things that have been annoying users for years. Less visible creases, better battery life, smoother performance, and more durable screens. These might not be sexy upgrades, but they're exactly what foldable phones need to go mainstream. Samsung has been the dominant player in foldables, but it can't take that position for granted. Google has been making solid foldables with their Pixel Fold series. OnePlus has entered the market with competitive devices. Chinese brands are pushing the boundaries of what's possible, and Apple is waiting in the wings, probably working on something that could shake up the entire market. Samsung needs to prove that their foldables are reliable daily drivers, not just expensive tech toys. The real test will be whether these improvements are enough to justify the premium price. Foldable phones are still significantly more expensive than regular flagship phones. Consumers need to feel like they're getting real value for that extra money. Better screens, longer battery life, and improved durability are all steps in the right direction. But Samsung also needs to make sure their software takes full advantage of the foldable form factor. The hardware is only half the equation. We should get our first official look at the Z Fold 8 series sometime next month. That's when we'll see how well Samsung's improvements actually work in the real world. The big question is whether Samsung can match what Honor and Oppo have achieved with their crease reduction. And more importantly, whether they can stay ahead of Apple when the iPhone Ultra eventually launches. So there you have it, Samsung's master plan for dominating the foldable market in 2025. The Z Fold 8 series might not be revolutionary, but it could be exactly what foldable phones need to finally go mainstream. Thicker glass, better batteries, improved performance, and hopefully way less noticeable creases. It's all about fixing the pain points that have been holding foldables back. What do you think about Samsung's strategy? Are you more interested in the wider model that's designed to compete with Apple? Or do you prefer the classic tall and narrow foldable design? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video helped you understand Samsung's foldable strategy, hit that like button. And make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you don't miss our coverage when these phones are officially announced next month. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.